just to remind you, this is how the game is played. The compound athletes today will play matches of 15 arrows with cumulative scores. In case of a tie, one single arrow will be shot to break that tie, and the closest to the center will win. The archers today will be shooting from 50 meters. Tomorrow, the recurve athletes will shoot from 70 meters. And when we get to the mixed team competition at the end of today's action, it'll be 4 ends, 4 arrows per set, and we'll also have, I should say, four arrows per end and 16 total arrows with a maximum of 160 points. All right, we're all set for our first match of the day. This is 7th-seeded Danielle Brown on the left of Great Britain facing 2nd-seeded Marcella Tonioli of Italy. Two wonderful archers and wonderful stories about both of these ladies. Danielle Brown, perhaps one of the most inspirational athletes on the world scene today. She's ranked 10th of the world, and she just won the gold medal at the Paralympics in London. Also won a mixed team bronze medal in Shanghai earlier this year. Of course, she'll be facing a formidable opponent today in the 25-year-old Marcella Tonioli, ranked 3rd in the world coming in. So far this season in World Cup action, 5 medals total to her credit, 3 medals in Antalya, 2 in Shanghai. We'll break it down for you. She won the gold medal in Shanghai and a team bronze there as well, then picked up 2 silver medals and a bronze medal at stage 2 in Antalya. So a very good World Cup season for Marcella Tonioli as she gets set to face Danielle Brown, who will shoot from the seated position. She suffers from reflex sympathetic dystrophy, which is a affliction which affects her feet. But she has long competed against able-bodied archers and competed very well. In fact, the defending Paralympic champion and 3-time world champion won the gold medal, as we mentioned a moment ago, at the London Paralympic Games just a few weeks ago in England. And this week she becomes the first para-archer to compete in this prestigious Archery World Cup Final, which will feature today, by the way, the new Falcon Eye archery scoring system, which is activated by arrows hitting the target. So hopefully we'll be able to get you the scores even more quickly than we have in the past. Danielle Brown, dead center with the first shot of the day. So Danielle sets the tone for Marcella Tonioli, who has become one of the major players on the world scene here in the last 2 years. She counters with a 10 of her own. So we're off to a good start here in Tokyo at the Archery World Cup Finals. Danny, this time outside that center ring, and in fact it's a 7.
7 points on that shot.
So that presents an opportunity for Marcella Tonioli, who's been known to be an opportunist and take advantage of those opportunities, and she does once again right here and grabs a 3-point lead in the match. So Danielle Brown on the line, and they'll give her a 9 for that shot. And Tonioli to finish off this first end. And just a little bit high that time. It's on the line. They'll call it an 8, but the officials will go out and check it. And the officials, by the way, with the new Falcon Eye archery scoring system, will have final say-so. If it's on the line, as it is in that situation, they will go out and pay particularly close attention and determine whether or not that is an 8 or a 9. Once again, the Falcon Eye archery scoring system activated by the arrow actually hitting the target. Now, something else of interest that you should know about for today's action, and in fact all weekend long this will be happening. We'll be measuring the heart rate of these athletes. They'll have an apparatus strapped to their legs which will enable us to, from time to time, check their heart rate and see how that measures here in the heat of battle. So the judges out there looking very closely, trying to determine if that is an 8 or a 9. But in either case, after 3 arrows, Danielle Brown has 26 points.
See you in a minute.
And we will know very shortly whether it's 28 points or 29 points for her competitor Marcella Tonioli. Danielle Brown in 2010 qualified for the Commonwealth Games in New Delhi, becoming the first Paralympian to represent England in an able-bodied event at those games. And for the first time in 28 years, a para-archer won a gold medal at the Commonwealth Games. She is a remarkable story. And of course had intense pressure on her during the Paralympic Games in London, where she was expected to win, did win. But she says coming here to Tokyo, the pressure's off and she just can go and have fun and shoot. And she's shooting well. So a 10 to start off this end.
10, 9.
To 10 points.
And Tonioli counters. So Marcella, who won the gold medal in Shanghai, defeating Albina Laganova 143 to 140, is off to a good start. Both of these archers shooting very, very well as we begin the compound competition here at the World Cup Finals. 2 10s for Dani Brown and 2 10s for Tonioli. Now back to Danielle Brown, who scored her first major individual title, by the way, by defeating Marcella Tonioli in the gold medal match indoors in Nimes last winter. She finishes off this end with a 9. And there you can see the heart rate. So 2 9s to finish it off. So each archer with a score of 29 in the second end. And so Tonioli maintains her lead as they retrieve the arrows. There's a good look at Danielle Brown. 2 10s and a 9. She has 55 out of a possible 60 through the first 2 ends here in Tokyo.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
We like shooting first.
And Marcella Tonioli,
Yes, we do. I remember what.
who has 2 World Cup victories to her credit. This year in Shanghai, last year in 2011, she picked up a gold medal in Ogden, Utah. She defeated Erica Anschutz.
The official score is on the board. It's a 2-point lead for Marcella Tonioli.
And it's a 2-point lead right now for Marcella Tonioli.
So, Dani Brown of GDR shooting first on target number 1.
So Dani Brown. To shoot first here in the third end.
2-10.
And she comes up with another 10. She looks very relaxed. As she said coming in, there's more pressure on me in the Paralympic Games than there is here.
10.
Tonioli, arrow for arrow, trying to maintain that 2-point lead that she grabbed in the first end.
2-10.
And another 10. Good grouping by Danielle Brown. So Tonioli, the bronze medalist at the World Cup Finals last year in Istanbul, forced to keep pace, and she does. The kind of shooting you'd expect to see in a World Cup Finals. There's a 9. So Danielle Brown, who came to Tokyo when Olga Bosch had to graciously bow out because of family commitments. Danielle filled in and now falls another point behind as Tonioli runs the table, so to speak, in that third end with 3 straight 10s. In fact, so far today, Tonioli, out of her 9 shots,
Automatically.
7 of them have been 10s, and have found that center ring. So Tonioli shooting very, very well. Marcella, introduced to the sport 8 years ago by a physical education teacher back in her native country of Italy. She started out shooting recurve before converting to compound, and says the bow is the rebirth of my career. She found compound archery, and you can see, by the way, on that tighter shot, we'll try to take it again, but on the left leg of Marcella Tonioli, you can see the apparatus that is strapped to her leg, and that helps to measure the heart rate. As I recall, it was about 60 before, which is a pretty good low heart rate considering the fact that she's in competition. So there's the score, 87-84 after 3 ends. Once again, it's 5 ends, 3 arrows per end. Maximum score of 150 points. And there's a 9 for Danielle Brown to start off this 4th end. Trailing by 3. And Tonioli is dead center. Another 10 for Brown, who is now trailing by 4 points, assuming that Tonioli finds the center ring once again.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
With her coach counting it down in the background. There's a 9, and that does give a point back. So right now it's a 3-point match. Tonioli leading by 3 here in the 4th end. But Brown needs to shoot 10s from here on out, and that 9, not what she was hoping for. And another 10. And that gets the point back for Tonioli. So through 4 ends, it's a 4-point lead, 116-112 after the first 4 ends. So each archer has shot 12 arrows. And there you see 112 out of a possible 120 for Danielle Brown of Great Britain, who's had some big victories. In fact, has a victory to her credit over Christy Collin during her career. We'll see Christy in just a little while. In fact, Christy Collin will be coming up next against Laura Longo, followed by Jamie Van Natta taking on Christina Berger. And then it's Albina Laganova facing Hondo Yumiko of Japan. The home country gets to provide one of the archers in each of the categories that you'll be seeing this weekend here on Archery TV. There's our score, 116-112. Marcella Tonioli with a 4-point advantage, a fairly comfortable advantage going into this 5th and final end in the opening match of the Archery World Cup Finals. Dani Brown with a beautiful shot. Tonioli, a member of Italy's gold medal mixed team in Torino last summer in 2011. And she has really taken off from there, shooting oh so well here in Tokyo.
10 points.
Dani Brown with 2 10s to start this 5th and final end. And now Marcella having a little bit of trouble. The clock becoming a little bit of a factor. She may have to, oh, this may be critical right here if she can't get the shot off.
And she loses the arrow, so that is not
She could not get the shot off. That will be no score, and so that is absolutely critical. It has turned the match around. And Marcella Tonioli, you can see the look in her eye. She's trying to focus. She is just distraught. And I don't blame her. I don't blame her. She could not get the shot off. She got no score. Meanwhile, Dani Brown finishes up with 3 straight 10s. And right now, Marcella Tonioli is brokenhearted. She is brokenhearted. There's nothing she can do to win this match. Even if she were to shoot a 10 here, she will come up 6 points short. So you never know. You can never tell. She finishes it off to her credit with a 10. A lot of strength, a lot of courage to make that shot after what had happened with her second to last arrow, not able to get it away. But she comes over, and in the spirit of great sportsmanship, she congratulates Dani Brown, and Dani Brown will stay in and move on to the semifinals this afternoon. You just never know. And sometimes, and we have seen that happen. Last year at stage 4 in Shanghai, we saw Dietmar Trillis. I believe it was the knock on his arrow that broke as he released one. He missed the shot, and that turned the match around. But Danielle Brown kept her focus, and after falling behind by 4 points, she trailed 116 to 112 after the first 4 ends, and it looked as though this match was over, especially when Tonioli fired a bullseye on her first shot of the 5th end. But then on her second shot, she had trouble either with her arrow or her bowstring. It's not sure exactly what happened.